This is for educational use only. Our group is allowing our instructor, Mr. Roldan Ardines, to use this as an educational material. Good day. This is group report about contemporary global governance with integration of COVID-19. So let's start. What is global governance? Global governance refers to collective efforts to identify, understand, and address worldwide problems that go beyond the problem-solving capacity of states. By WIS 2010. Global governance is like having a brainstorming in a group work just to solve a problem. The statement of WIS means one country alone cannot solve the problem itself because it is beyond their solving capacity, which means they need help from other countries. To simplify things, global governance will occur and ready to help whenever there is a country that needs help because the problem itself is beyond their solving capacity. For example, when the pandemic COVID-19 hits, global governance really mattered that time because China couldn't handle the virus. It even spread it throughout the world. And global governance is the only way to stop the virus because it needs the idea of the other country. It needs the help of other country just to stop this deadly virus. And that's all. Thank you.
The effects of globalization on governments. The effects of globalization on governments has led to a stronger focus on global health, economic recovery, sustainability, and digital governance, while also challenging existing multilateral structures and highlights the need for reform and greater cooperation. For example, health cooperation. The World Health Organization, the WHO, became crucial in managing the pandemic, but the crisis also highlighted the need for stronger global health system. Second example is vaccine distribution, like COVAX, aim to distribute vaccine fairly, but vaccine nationalism showed challenge in global cooperation and digital governance. The pandemic accelerated the need for global rules on digital issues like cybersecurity and online trading. And lastly, the inequality and human rights. COVID-19 exposed global inequalities, leading to a stronger focus on addressing social equity and human rights in global governance.
Good day everyone, this is Cadet Bihag and I am here to identify the institutions that governs international relations. This is the 10 main institutions. The first one is United Nations, UN, World Health Organization, WHO, World Trade Organization, WTO, International Monetary Funds, IMF, World Bank, Group of 20, G20, European Union, the EU, Association of Southeast Asian Nations, or the ASEAN, Organization of American States, OAS, and the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, SCO. United Nations. The UN has been at the forefront of coordinating the global response to the COVID-19 pandemic. World Health Organization, WHO. As a specialized agency of the UN, the WHO has played a crucial role in the fight against COVID-19. It has provided guidance and recommendations to countries monitor the spread of the virus in the coordinated development of vaccine and treatments through the COVAX initiative. World Trade Organizations (WTO). The WTO has addressed the pandemic's impact on international trade by calling for the removal of trade barriers and promoting transparency in trade-related measures. International Monetary Fund (IMF). The IMF has provided financial assistance to countries affected by the pandemic and advocated for global cooperation in addressing the economic fallout from the pandemic. World Bank. The World Bank has committed billions of dollars in financing to help countries respond to the health and economic impacts of COVID-19. Group of 20. The Group of 20 has played a significant role in coordinating the global response to the pandemic, pledging to work together to minimize the economic and social consequences of the pandemic. European Union. The European Union has taken various measures to address the pandemic, including the launching of European Vaccine Strategy, providing financial support to member states, and coordinating the procurement of medical supplies. Association of Southeast Asian Nation, ASEAN. ASEAN has adopted a COVID-19 ASEAN Response Fund to support regional efforts in addressing the pandemic. Organizations of American States or OAS. The OAS has been involved in coordinating the regional response to the pandemic in the Americas, promoting cooperation and solidarity among its member states. Shanghai Cooperation Organization or SCO. The SCO has also played a role in addressing the pandemic when its member states cooperating on issues such as medical supplies, vaccine development, and information sharing. Thank you.
The topic is differentiate internationalism from globalism. Internationalism refers to the idea of cooperations and interaction between sovereign nations. Also, it focuses on the cooperations between nation-states. Internationalism supports institutions like the United Nations, which facilitate collaborations between countries. For example, the United Nations or the NATO, the World Health Organizations, and the international treaties like the Paris Agreement. While globalism is the idea that the world is becoming increasingly interconnected and that global integrations is especially in economic terms. Globalization focuses on the interconnectedness of all countries in global system. Also suggests that global governance or global institutions might become necessary to manage global issues. For example, global trade agreements like the World Trade Organizations, multinational corporations, global supply chain, and the cultural phenomena like the spread of the social media or global pop culture. So, overall, internationalism is about nation-states working together while maintaining their sovereignty, whereas globalism emphasizes the increasingly interconnectedness and integration of the world, often transcending national boundaries. That's all, thank you.
My topic is identify the rules and function of United Nations. United Nations, in the World Parliament, 193 voices gathering together in New York to deliberate the masses of peace and security. United Nations was established in 1945 consisting of 50 countries for the purpose of preventing the outbreak of war. The United Nations has many parts to it. It deals the matter of economic social policy. It deals the matter of human rights and culture, but the most important part of the United Nations are the Security Council, which has 5 members responsible for controlling in the policy. These are Britain, France, United States, China, and Russia. The other body that is very important where all the nations make and come together, and it is General Assembly. Both the General Assembly and the Security Council pass resolution to make for the world. The United Nations has been responsible for indicating polio in Africa for instance of daily. The problem of death or problems of other disease spreading. The United Nations has been very important is making sure that human rights are observed. The United Nations is determined to make sure that everything is done toward a big picture to make peace, and truly to make sure that humanity attains the primary purpose of what is said that we believe. We believe better future. It is also include achieving international cooperation in solving international problems of an economic, social, cultural, or characters, and promoting and encourage respect for human rights and fundamental freedom for all without distinct as to race, sex, language, or religion. That's all my topic. Thank you.
Identify the functions of the United Nations. The United Nations has several key functions aimed at promoting global peace, security, and cooperation. These functions include number one, maintaining international peace and security. 2. Promoting sustainable development. 3. Protecting human rights. 4. Upholding international law. 5. Providing humanitarian assistance. 6. Fostering international cooperation. Let's start in number 1, maintaining international peace and security. So, example, peacekeeping missions in countries like South Sudan. UN peacekeepers help prevent violence, protect civilians, and support peace process in conflict zones. Example 2, conflict resolution in Syria, where the UN has facilitated peace talks to try end the ongoing civil war. 2. Promoting sustainable development. So, examples, the Sustainable Development Goals GDS, which includes targets like ending poverty, ensuring quality education, and combating climate change by 2030. So, another example, the UN's World Food Program, providing food assistance in areas suffering from hunger, such as in Yemen and South Sudan. And number 3, protecting human rights. So, from the word human rights. So, example, the work of the UN Human Rights Council, which investigates human rights violations and issues reports, such as those addressing the situation in Myanmar. Number 4, upholding international law. Examples, the International Criminal Tribunal for the former Yugoslavia, which prosecuted war crimes committed during the Balkans conflict in the 1990s. Another example, the International Court of Justice, which settles legal dispute between states, such as the case between Nicaragua and the United States in the 1980s. Providing humanitarian assistance. That's number 5. Examples: the UN's response to the 2010 Haiti earthquake, where agencies like the UN Office for the Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs. So the last is number 6, fostering international cooperation. So, examples: the Paris Agreement on Climate Change, facilitated by the UN, where countries committed to limiting global warming and reducing greenhouse gas emissions. Let's try make another line examples. Example: the World Health Organization, coordinating international response to global health crises such as the COVID-19 pandemic.
Of global governance in the 21st century. One challenges of the 21st century is the outbreak of COVID-19 pandemic. COVID-19 is a contagious disease caused by SARS-CoV-2 virus. It is originated in Wuhan, China in late 2019 and rapidly spread worldwide. It has a big impact on global governance, such as fragile health systems unable to handle pandemic, inequality, unequal access to vaccines and resources, nationalism, countries prioritize themselves over global cooperation, economic disruption, global economy suffered requiring coordinated responses, opportunity for reform, need for a stronger global health system and cooperation.
Explain the relevance of the state amid globalization. The state remains relevant amid globalization for several reasons. Firstly, state continue to play a crucial role in the regulating international trade, setting policies that impact business, and negotiating trade and agreement with other nations. Additionally, states are responsible for maintaining security with their borders, which is essential in the face of the global threats like tourism and cyber attack. Furthermore, state state are instrumental in address global issues such as climate change, human rights violation, and economic. The state remains crucial even a globalized world because it helps regulate and protect its economy, culture, and people. Despite global connection, states make important decisions on trade, security, and social services. They also preserve culture, identity, and manage crises like pandemics. In short, states are still essential for maintaining order, security, and well-being amid global changes. Even as our world become more connected, the state is like the foundation of a house. It holds everything together. It sets the rule, keeps people safe, support the economy, and protect the culture. Without the state, globalization might bring chaos instead of a progress. The state ensures that even a global world, local needs and entities are still cared for. Example: think of how countries responded to COVID-19. While the virus spread globally, each state decided how to protect its people, like setting up lockdowns, providing vaccines, and managing healthcare. This shows how even a global crisis, states play a key role in locking or their citizens.